your thing that you need to do to give permission to me to record. We'll sit up on our blankets, pillows, hips high, knees low. And then lengthening the whole spine once we have our nice firm foundation right up through the crown of the head. Let the ears draw back over the shoulders. Relax your jaw. So what I like to think about is the position of the tongue, because I feel like if I've got my tongue on the roof of my mouth, I find it really hard to clench my teeth. So tongue floating to the roof of the mouth. Lower teeth and upper teeth are just going to float away from each other, and then your lips can close. And then you can relax your jaw. And if you have trouble relaxing, just a little tap sometimes on your jaw might help. But keeping your teeth away from each other, I find helps with the tongue on the roof of the mouth. So you can try that. So relax your face, relax your neck, relax your shoulders, relax your arms. Let your hands be heavy. Feel that lift and opening through the heart center and the tail dropping towards the mat, towards your blanket, towards your pillow. Eyes open or closed. If you can't let go of that distraction all around you, I mean, I have got a circus going on here that you can't see. For me, closing my eyes is helpful. Some people do not like to close their eyes. Typically, it's people who have a pitta constitution, which I can talk about another time. They don't like to close their eyes. So that might be you. Focus on something that's not moving and stare at it and let your gaze soften around it. I'm going to invite the breath into this open container. Draw the breath into the belly, into the rib cage, and into the chest. Exhaling chest, ribs, belly. And then I like to take it to the back too, low back, middle back, shoulders. And then letting go from top to bottom. If you can potentially feel it in your side bodies, try to feel it there, lower, middle, upper, right up into your armpits. And let that go. And then if there's a place in your body that feels kind of dead, like there's no energy going there right now, try to imagine a little set of lungs, little baby lungs, and put them somewhere like your shoulder or your neck or your jaw, and take a breath into those lungs and see if you can feel the breath in that place. So the breath flows in, the breath flows out. I breathe in, I know that I'm breathing in. I breathe out, I know that I'm breathing out. Let's create an intention for our practice today that draws us in even more. Yep, I'm here for a reason. This is my practice. I'm going to stay here for it. And then we let that intention just float out into the universe. Let's start with the circle with the tip of the nose. So we've got neck, we've got shoulders, we've got low back, we've got fingers, we've got balance, and we've got quads. Somebody's brain is working. And then let's circle back the other way. Remember, your jaw is soft, your teeth have floated away from each other, your tongue is on the roof of your mouth. Let's bring the head to center, double check that your heart is lifted and open. Drop your chin right down to your chest. Slide your hands back so the the base of your palms is right at your hip creases. So you almost feel like you're pinching your shoulders together a little bit here. And then we're going to turn our head and look out to the right. Couple breaths here. And then let's look down. And we're going to turn the head to look out to the left. And then we're going to look down. Let's look up again. We're going to lift our shoulders up, roll them back, lift and roll, lift and roll. So just warming up shoulders, warming up neck. And then lower the shoulders. Let's change the cross of the legs. They're crossed. We're going to slide our hands back out to our knees, and let's do a big circle. And back the other way. And then I also think somebody said hips. So let's lower down over the legs, whichever way they're crossed. Slide to your hands, forearms, forehead, blocks, stacked fist, wherever you can get. Take a nice big breath into your low back. Create some space there and take a nice big breath into your hips. Check your jaw. Take one more breath. And then we'll release, come all the way up. We're going to straighten out the legs. Remember which of your legs is in front. Take note. And then straighten out the legs. We'll circle the ankles around. And the other way. Let's do a tap with the legs. So wake up the legs. And then we're going to change the cross of the legs. So cross your legs again, put the other leg in front. Hopefully you remember. And we're coming down over the legs again to a place where you feel the stretch. You're not straining. If you're on your forearms, you could let your head hang down here so you're not putting a lot of tension in your neck. Your forehead could be on the floor. You could be using your block here. Take a big breath into your low back. A big breath into your hips. One more big breath. Relax your jaw. And then let's release and come all the way back up. We'll keep the legs crossed the way they are. Take your hands to your knees. Take a breath. As we exhale, we're going to round the back, chin to chest. Tail is going to lift up through the front, and then we'll go the other direction into cow. So a little cat-cow. This is where we can actually practice slowing down the breath. Slowing down the breath. Get to know those places between the in-breath and the out-breath. Let's take one more breath in and one more breath out. And then we'll find our way to neutral. We're going to bring the soles of the feet to the floor. You're sitting on a pillow, so you've got a little bit of a head start. We're going to push up to squat. If you can't push yourself up to squat, you're going to drop your knees to one side and use your hands and get yourself to a squat. We're going to take a moment here. Some of you have your feet very close together in squat, hip distance. Some of you have your feet wider and turned out, and that's okay. Some of you are balancing on the balls of your feet. Some of you are on your heels. For those of you who balance on the balls of your feet, I'm going to suggest that doorknob exercise that I've suggested before, where you open a door, closet door, somewhere that's got a doorknob on one side and a doorknob on the other side. And here's the door standing this way, and you hold on to one doorknob on each side, and then you'll be able to drop down on your heels. And that's where you're going to get a really nice stretch in your hips and your low back. So try that sometime. Let's put the hands on the floor. We're going to lift up the hips, straighten the legs to just a soft bend, and we're going to walk the feet back underneath us so they're hip distance and parallel to each other. So let's hang here. Let your head hang. So we feel that first little stretch through our hamstrings, or the first big stretch through our hamstrings. Again, we access the low back in this position. This is a standing forward fold, or Uttanasana. You can slide your hands back towards your feet. Uttanasana, fingers pointing forward. So I would take this opportunity, if you can get your hands on the floor like I have, onto your fingertips. Come to your fingertips and press into the floor so we can access our fingers for the first time. I haven't forgotten you, fingers. And then we're going to bend our knees a lot. Put your belly on your thighs, lengthen your spine, and slowly unhinge. Keep your chin low. So you're looking down at your feet as you come up. Soften up your knees. Feel the four corners of your feet. And then let's lift up the head. Arms are going to lift up and overhead. Let's interlace our fingers. Turn your palms around so they're facing the ceiling. So pressing up to the ceiling, stretching fingers, stretching hands. Let's come up to the balls of our feet. And we'll do our palm tree balance today. Soft jaw. So this is when we start concentrating really hard, when we're balancing. So this is when we need to really practice relaxing our jaw, taking some nice deep breaths. And then let's release the arms, come back to the whole foot, and hands to the heart. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold it over. Heart way up. Exhale, fold. Inhale. I bend my knees a lot to come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now let's interlace our fingers. Let your index fingers point all the way up. They go again. Take a breath. Exhale over to the right side. Feel equal weight on your feet. Inhale through middle. Exhale. Shoulders stay in line with each other. They are stacked, one on top of the other. Inhale, soften up your knees. Exhale, let's do a back bend. Inhale, center. Exhale, over we go again. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center, the back bend next. Inhale, center. Now we're going to turn this into a balance. Exhale over to the right side. Shift to the right foot. Lift your left foot off the ground. Remember, there's an engagement through the abdominals, so we're not feeling flimsy through the middle. We feel nice and firm through the middle. We're going to keep the left leg lifted, hopefully, and let the torso move over toward it. So the torso is going to move to the left. We're challenging our balance here. Breathe. If you need to touch down, touch down. Come back to the middle, inhale, and exhale. Let's float it down. We'll relax our arms. Do a little shake if you need it. And then we'll come back to hip distance. Now we're going to interlace our fingers again with the index fingers pointing, but interlace your fingers the opposite way. So we'll start to get used to feeling it in a slightly different way. Let's let the arms lift up. Overhead, shoulders are relaxed. Take a breath. Soften your knees. Exhale over to the left. When you are ready, the right foot is going to lift. You can always have your big toe on the floor if you need to. Keep breathing. Feel how strong your left leg is, how strong your foot is. Let's let that torso movement happen. So we're going to rock to the other side. We're not going to get very far, but I feel a nice stretch coming up my left side. I feel like my legs are working like crazy. And then let's inhale. Exhale your hands to the heart, palms together. Now let's interlace the way we like to interlace and press your palms out. We'll stretch the fingers again. Woo! Doesn't that feel good to stretch your hands like that? And then let's bring our hands back in front of the heart. We'll do another half salute. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale. We fold it over. Take your time. Come part way up, breathing. Exhale and fold. Inhale. We're taking our time. We're moving in slow motion and we're feeling it all the way back to the heart. Let's go that slow in silence. One more. And then let's release. All right, we're going to do a couple more postures standing so that we can get one more balancing posture in for all of you who like to balance, which is really all of us. So we're going to move to the front of the mat so you're looking at the short edge of the mat. I'm going to step back just a little ways. I don't want to stuff my toes up at the front edge. I want to have a little space because we're going to do warrior one to get into our hip flexors. And then we're going to do warrior three, which is the balancing posture. And I like to go back and forth between the two. So we do warrior one, warrior three, warrior one. And that's going to be the sequence. So let's start by stepping back with the right foot. Right foot is going to step back and we're going to turn the toes to the upper right edge of the mat. So there's just a little outward turn of the foot, which keeps us balanced a little bit. We'll bend the left knee, knee over ankle. All I can see is my big toe. And if you feel like you're a little tippy here, put a little bit of extra space between your feet. So your feet are more like shoulder distance than hip distance. So knee over ankle, all I can see is my big toe. Now I'm going to turn my attention to my pelvis because I really want a nice stretch in the front of the right thigh. So drop the tail a little bit. Drop the tail. Posterior tilt of the pelvis. Engage the abdominals. We're not sucking it in. We're just engaging gently. And then let's lift up the arms. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Remember, when we move into warrior three, it becomes more challenging to keep our arms in this position. If it's too hard to keep your arms next to your ears, you're going to move them out to the T position instead. with the palms facing towards the floor. Okay, ears over shoulders. Let's take a breath. And then let's begin to rock forward and put all your weight on your left foot. You can have your right big toe on the floor. That's our starting position. We're looking down. Now it's already getting harder to keep your arms next to your ears, but we're going to keep going. And we're going to try to get the leg to parallel with the floor. Point your toes to the floor, arms parallel to the floor. Remember, you can come to T if you need to. Let's breathe. We're going to step back gently, and we come back to our warrior one with grace, as if we are a rocket on the stage. And then let's release to mountain. That's a nice visualization, right? The rocket. Yeah, in my dreams. Let's step the left foot back. Turn the toes out just a little. Now your right foot, knee over ankle. All I can see is my big toe. We've got the four corners of both of our feet, so you're going to need to straighten the left leg. Drop the tail, engage the core. Let's lift up the arms. Nice and strong. Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Check the back foot. Mine's wibbly wobbly all over the place, so I've got to really concentrate on the four corners of that foot. All right, when you are ready, we're going to take a breath, and then we're going to start on the exhalation to the balance. Start on your big toe, and then make your way to the parallel position, lifting your leg, point your toes to the floor. Arms lifted next to your ears. If you can keep them there nice and strong, this is strengthening your rotator cuff in your shoulders. Breathe, thumbs are pointing up. And then gracefully we step back, we bend the knee, we come back to warrior one. And then let's step it forward. You need a little tap on your hip flexor? Maybe. Let's hinge. We've got our hinge right there. We're going to hinge and step it back to down dog. Another shoulder strengthening posture. Let's inhale into plank. We'll go back and forth a couple times. Your knees can be on the floor if you want. Exhale to dog. Inhale to plank. Of course, this is good for our low back as well, strengthening the core. Exhale to dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Let them be strong. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go again. Inhale. And exhale. And then we're going to come to our knees and back. Keep your toes tucked. Just sit your hips back on your heels with your toes tucked under. We'll stretch our feet. Take a big breath into your low back. Take a big breath into your feet. Remember those little lungs. You can put them anywhere you want. Traveling lungs. Let them travel. And then let's come back into table with our hands underneath our shoulders, tops of the feet, and let's do a tap. And then let's relax. We're going to put a little space between our knees. A little space so the knees are about shoulder distance, and let's thread the needle here. Since we're doing hips too, let's take the left leg out to perpendicular. This is an optional move. It's going to take you into your inner thigh. I also feel like it helps me feel a little bit more stable when I come into the twist. Let's bring the right arm underneath the left. Palm is turning up, and we're going to bring the shoulder and the head to the floor without too much weight in the head. So drop your hips back towards your foot if you feel like your head is taking the brunt of this. If you feel like you're not getting a stretch in your right shoulder, you're going to take your wrist right wrist with your left hand and give it a pull. Make your arm a little longer. Keep your hand here, put it on the floor, wrap it to your waist, or let it hang in the air behind you. That's going to change the stretch that you get, right? External rotation of the shoulder, internal rotation of the shoulder, no rotation of the shoulder to speak of, really, too much. So you decide where your practice needs to take you today. And let's breathe into the right shoulder. And then we're going to put the hand on the floor. Roll yourself up. Drop your left hip just a little bit. So you feel a nice stretch coming down your left leg on the inside. And then let's pull the leg underneath us. All right, we know where we're going. Right leg is going to extend this time. For me, it feels good to put the sole of my foot on the floor. You could have your foot turned out. Doesn't feel good in my knee there. Pelvis is level. We're going to bring the left arm under. You're on your shoulder and your head with not too much weight on your head. Remember, you can use your right hand to help your left arm lengthen. And then you decide where the right arm goes. And we take our breath. Here, I'm going to take my breath to my left shoulder, but because I have my right shoulder externally rotated, it feels good to take my breath into my pecs too, in my chest on the right side. And then we're going to put the right hand down to the floor. If it's not there already, roll yourself out. Keep your leg extended and drop your right hip. So just let it be heavy. It's nothing forced. And let's feel that big stretch coming down the right leg. And then we'll draw the leg underneath us. And we're going to go to pigeon. And the reason I'm going to pigeon is for our hips and also for our fingers. Okay, so if you know you can't do pigeon from this position, come to your back. We'll start on the right side. So I'm going to slide my right knee in between my hands. Here comes my right foot off to the left side of my mat. So I'm going to lengthen my left leg and relax my knee. Then to strengthen our fingers, we'll come up on the fingertips. So you're using your hands to push yourself up into a little back bend. If you're on your back, cross your right leg over your left. Pass your right hand through the space between your legs and pull your left leg closer to you. That's your stretch. Those of us in pigeon getting a nice stretch in the left leg and the right leg. Relax your shoulders, neck, and jaw. Take another breath. And then let's relax our hands, come over the leg, release to the forward fold, arms really in any position that you like. If you don't like having your head on the floor, use your hands or your block. Soft. If you're tipping to the right side, stuff a pillow under your right hip, fill in the space. You'll feel more stable. Relax, relax. Check the left knee again. If you're like me, that's a place where you hold. All right, let's release on an in-breath. So all the way up we come. Back to table. Some of you might say, I really like coming from down dog to this position. So you're in down dog right now. We'll slide the left knee forward. My left foot is now on the right side of my mat. If I had a big space here, I would fill it in with a blanket, pillow. block. Let's come up on our fingertips. Release your right leg. If you're on your back, you've got your left leg crossed over your right. Let's breathe. We're really using those fingers. We're really pushing the floor away. We hardly ever have opportunity to strengthen our fingers. So relax your shoulders, neck, and face. Push. Inhale. And let's release. Let's relax your hands. Relax everywhere. This is just a relaxing posture. For many people, it's relaxing. For some people, it's not. But if you can relax into this, just let go. Check your jaw. Hips and jaws work together sometimes. The next time you breathe in, let's lift up. We'll come back to our table and we're going to have a seat on our heels. Not for long, don't worry. We're going to bring the left leg out, sit in between your legs. So your hips come in between your right foot and your left leg. There's space here. We're going to bend the left leg, lean back on your hands. This is to stretch the quads. So here we go. Stretching quads. I'm on the top of my right foot. So if that feels good for your knee, be on the top. You might turn your toes out if that feels better. You can be on your hands, your forearms, all the way on your back. You could have a pillow behind you. Wherever you are, we're going to try to relax. It's a big stretch. Again, check your jaw. Float your tongue to the roof of your mouth, teeth apart, lips together. And then come back up from wherever you are and let's change sides. So we'll free the legs. If you feel like you need to tap them out a little, tap them out. Here's what my left foot looks like, top of the foot. It's a great stretch for your ankles. Let's put a lot of space between our legs. We're leaning back on our hands. This is really another opportunity to get up on your fingertips if you want to strengthen your fingers. Okay, so you could be up on your fingertips and leaning back into them, put the weight of your torso and shoulders back there on your fingertips. Or you're on your forearms, or you're on your back. Wherever you want to be here. Try to relax. And then let's release on an in-breath. We're going to free the legs. Tap, tap, tap if you need it. Circle the ankles if you need it. And then come to a seated position. You could be back on your pillow if you want to. We're going to be here for a little bit. So we're sitting up nice and tall. We're going to let the right ear drop down towards the right shoulder. We're going to put the right hand on the head to rest it there. So the left shoulder stays nice and heavy. I always like to imagine a block sitting on a soft block, but a heavy one sitting on my left shoulder. And then let's inhale the head to center, release the arm. Exhale to the other side. And that little extra help from your friend, your left hand. Put your heavy, soft block on your right shoulder. And then let's release on an in-breath. And let's bring the arms here. It's my favorite back strengthening posture. So I can see my hands through my peripheral vision. We're going to slide them back till they disappear. Turn on your back muscles. Feel that nice opening through the chest. Drop your tail straight down to the floor. Turning it on, building heat in the body. You don't have to turn up the thermostat. All you have to do is pull your arms back. Heating up the room. Take another breath. And then let's relax, open the arms, take a breath, exhale, left comes under right, eagle arms, twist them around if you can. Get the elbows one on top of the other, lift and drop your chin to your chest. Let's relax our face, let's relax our hands. And we put our little lungs right there in between our shoulder blades, right on top of our big lungs, and take a big breath. And then let's lift. Shin comes up, arms open up, big flap. Exhale. Right comes under. Lift up the elbows, relax the hands, drop the chin to the chest, and breathe. And then let's open up the arms, big breath in, flap. And float down. Let's lift the shoulders again. Lift and roll. Ooh, it feels good after you've been working a little bit. Lift and roll, lift and roll. And then release. And let's look to our fingers again. So let's play the piano. Move your thumbs, move your fingers. Piano time here. And then we're going to take the pinky of one hand with your fingers on the other hand and circle one direction, circle the other direction. And then you're going to give your pinky a big squeeze and pull like you're trying to pull it off your hand. And then the fourth finger is going to circle one way with the help of your other hand and circle the other way. And then give it a squeeze and a pull. We're trying to pull it right off our hand there. If you've had surgery on your fingers or something like that, you know, you're not going to pull that hard. You can still squeeze. Let's circle both ways. We're going to squeeze and pull. Oh, that feels good. And then the second finger, that's a busy little finger. And let's circle the other way and squeeze and pull. Now, remember when we get to the thumb, we don't pull so hard, but we can still circle it. So we'll circle one way, we circle the other way, and we're going to squeeze it, but we're not going to pull it very hard. You can pull a little bit. So if you heard your knuckles crack, that's nitrogen moving into your synovial fluid. It's totally fine when your hands are straight like this, when your fingers are straight. Let's go to the other pinky, circle. We're circling the other way. And then we're going to squeeze and pull the pinky. Fourth finger. That's where we go. Fourth finger, the other way. Squeeze and pull. Third finger. Circle one way. Circle the other way. Squeeze and pull. Index finger. Circle. And circle. Squeeze and pull. Thumb, circle. Circle the other way. Squeeze. Little pull, not much. And then let's shake our hands out. Ah, our fingers feel a little longer, don't they? All right. Nice. Let's come to our backs. Any way you want to get there, let's take our block. Oh, some of you are already on your back. Sorry. Get your block. Since someone called out neck, we're going to put this underneath our head and we're going to roll. So get to your back. I'm getting there the easy way today. Put that block or book. Hopefully, if you've got a book, it's at least a dictionary, if anybody still has a dictionary. And we're going to roll back and forth. And then let's take the block out. And since you have a block, let's try something we haven't really tried in a very long time. Lift up your hips, slide your block underneath. You are now in a supported bridge pose. And because I haven't been able to really count on everybody having a block, I haven't done this for a long time, but this is a lovely place to hang out. The block should feel comfortable. It should be in a place where it feels absolutely comfortable. Mine's underneath my sacrum. If you want to, from here, go ahead and lift up your legs. So you're in a supported, really a supported half shoulder stand is what I would call this. Let your legs float up and overhead. If you don't have a block, you can still let your legs float up and overhead. If you don't like the way it feels with a block, take it out and don't use the block. If you like the way it felt to be here with your legs low, then hang out here. If you'd rather really work, take your block out and hang out in bridge pose. So you've got some options here. Bridge, supported bridge, legs up the wall, or a supported half shoulder stand. Oh, the choices. Let's take some nice big breaths with a soft face wherever you have chosen to hang out. And then if your legs are in the air, let's put your feet on the floor. If your hips are on a block, lift your hips, move the block. And then let's all lower to the floor. So the sacrum falls to the floor. Let's let the knees drop wide. So we're in supine bound angle with the soles of our feet together. If your arms feel too stuffed next to you, move them out or put them on your belly. Or put them over your head if you like the way that feels. That's kind of a nice stretched out feeling. Few breaths. And then we'll inhale our knees together. Let's give ourselves a hug. We haven't done that yet. Ooh, open up the back. Little rock from side to side. And let's release to the center. Arms slide out to the floor, palms up. Let's release the knees to the left. We'll come to the twist and turn your head to look out to the right. Soften your legs, soften your jaw, soften your shoulders, soften everywhere. There's nowhere that's holding here. We're completely letting go. then we're going to let the knees travel one at a time. Right takes the lead, left follows behind all the way over to the right. Turn your head to look to the left. Try to keep the left shoulder on the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. And every time you exhale, you're getting a little bit softer. And maybe you're discovering someplace in your body that has a really hard time letting go. Now the left knee will come center. The right leg travels behind it. We'll put both feet on the floor and stretch out the legs. Let's let the arms come overhead and let's do a big full body stretch, reaching in both directions. Point your toes, reach out through your fingers. And then relax the left side of your body. Let the left side of your body go limp and reach out through the right side only. See if you can do it. This is challenging. Right side only is reaching, and then let the right side go limp. So your whole body is soft. Left side now. Through the toes, through the arm. Left side is reaching. Keep breathing. And relax. All right, we're going to try something a little harder. We're going to turn on the left leg and the right arm. Left leg and right arm are stretching away from each other. And relax. Now turn on your right leg only and your left arm. So you're going across your body. Breathe. And release. Now both sides of the body, everything is stretching away from everything else. You're getting taller. You're getting more open, more space for breath. Take one more big breath in and let go. And then let go again and again. And then let your body move into the place where you're doing relaxation. And once you've made it there, let go again. So it's a continuous movement of letting go. It's like a wave that rolls over you. Let go. And the next wave comes and let go. And the next until there's nothing left to let go of. Even the breath is quiet. Notice what it's like to be still, to be calm, but still feel energy flowing through your body. Let's begin to deepen the breath once again. We'll let fingers and toes move. Let your head turn. And then when you're ready, bending one knee, bending the other knee, we'll roll to the right side, come to fetal position, and just be here for a moment. Invite gratitude into this place between our practices. Invite gratitude for another Monday, for this beautiful body, for the breath that fills it with life and energy, for the practice, which keeps us moving, keeps us present, teaches us to loosen our jaw. Remember to breathe. And then when you're ready, pushing yourself all the way up, coming to upright. We'll bring our hands together in front of the heart as we close our practice together. Here, honor yourself for who you are, just as you are, just as you were intended to be. We honor each other in the same way. We honor all people and all the creatures of the earth. We honor this earth and feel gratitude for the many gifts that we enjoy in abundance every day. We feel our connection to each other, to all people, to all beings, to all things on earth. Let's share our voices in the sound of our practice. In the sound of Om, taking a deep breath together. Oh. May peace, joy, love, compassion, and gratitude fill your heart today and every day to overflowing. Namaste. And I thank you all for joining me. I will be here not on Thursday, taking Thursday off for those of you who missed that announcement. All right. Our card today says awesomeness. I am capital A awesome, and I refuse to pay attention to anything that makes me feel otherwise. Instead, I congratulate myself for every victory, accomplishment, teeny tiny step in the right direction. Because even the smallest positive action, like reading an affirmation, is evidence that I care about keeping my sweet creative juju juiced up. And isn't that just the awesomest?
Awesomest.
Yay. All right. Keep that juju going. You are welcome. I hope I hit all the spots that everybody wanted. I think I got them.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
All right.
Good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.